Hey, hi everyone, this is Mukesh Otwani once again from learn-automation.com. Today in this video we are going to talk about a very different topic altogether called robot. Now you might have heard this term multiple times with different terminologies. Okay, so people talk about robot class, robot framework, robotic process automation, and people are generally getting confused between these three different terms altogether. So this topic this video is all about what is the difference between robot class, robot framework and robotic process automation. So let's quickly talk about the difference between all of them and we'll see one by one. So this will be more about the introduction about each of them, and we will discuss each of them separately in separate video. So let's talk about the robot class. Now robot class is a part of Java. Okay, now this class does not you don't have to include any libraries for robot class. This comes by default with your Java. And now if you go with the official documentation of this robot class, so this class generally useful to perform test automation, okay, for the desktop applications. Now they primarily included this robot class to automate these Java applications. Okay, so you can do testing on Java platforms. So they have provided many methods for keyboard activities, mouse activities. So you can just do basic type click commands using this robot class. So now if I show you the official documentation, okay, so if you just open this link, I already opened this in a separate, yeah. So this is separate class which comes with Java. It was there from Java 1.3. We are using Java.8 as of now, but in market you will find Java 11 as well. So this is the exactly same thing which they have mentioned here. Okay, this class used to generate native events, system input events for the purpose of test automation. And if you see, it has two constructors. Okay, one is the default constructor and another constructor with graphic device, and these are the methods which robot class generally provide. So you can see through robot class you can create screenshots, you can put some thread.sleep, so here it is called delay. You can also set the auto delay. Okay, you can do all these key press events, okay, key release events, mouse over. So it is more about some keyboard and mouse activities, but it is only applicable for your current window. Okay, let me repeat again, robot class is only applicable for your current windows. Whatever comes on the screen, so whatever type click activities you have given, it will perform the same activity on the current window. Okay, now robot class is just a plain Java class, that's all. Now let's talk about robot framework. Robot class was a simple library, okay, but or class, I will say it's a separate individual class, not a complete library. But when you talk about robot framework, it's a separate keyword driven test automation framework which is written in Python. Okay, now you can argue with me that Mukesh, already Selenium is there, then why we are talking about robot framework, why we are using a different framework altogether. Okay, so Selenium is just a one library, but when you talk about a framework, so robot framework is not only limited till Selenium. Okay, definitely robot framework will have Selenium as well, but it will also have some more inbuilt libraries through which you can achieve some more tasks. You cannot be limited only till UI. You can take one more step using robot framework and you can automate other stuff as well. In the next slide I will go through what kind of libraries you have and what you can use for your organizations. Okay, now another question, why we have to use this framework, why we cannot create our own framework. Yes, you can create your own framework, but it will take some time. Okay, if you are going to create the framework which is exactly like robot framework, maybe it will take couple of years for you, because robot framework is very mature now. It has added so many libraries which can help you to complete your task in a very short span of time. Now this robot framework can be extended by the different test libraries, okay, either in Java or Python, and you can also create your custom keywords from the existing one which they already have. Okay, so I will show you the syntax of robot framework. Okay, now if you go to their official documentation, let me go through their official site first. Okay, so definitely we will be discussing about this robot framework in detail. Okay, let's talk about the first link. It's a very lengthy document, guys, so just give me a minute. Robot framework, just type robot framework and you will get their official site, which is robotframework.org. And okay, you can see it is. Now if you go with this complete documentation, okay, like introduction, everything, when you come here you will find libraries. Okay, see, these are the standard libraries which by default robot framework provides. Okay, so you can deal with the OS, you can deal with the string, you can deal with the processes, dialogues, remote activities. Okay, you can also do the SSH, and you can also play with the XML screenshot collections. These are the standard libraries comes by default with robot framework. These are the external libraries which you can use. So now if you go here, you will find this database library. If you want to do some kind of database connection, you want to play with some SQL queries, you can directly use the libraries here. Okay, so if you have some time, just go through this. The main library which we have to use for Selenium is Selenium 2 library. Okay, this Selenium 2 library. Apart from that, you can say we have Sickly library. Again, we have REST instance. There's so many libraries which you can use for your projects. Okay, and you can also see they have for APM as well. Okay, so which you can use for Android and iOS testing as well. Okay, so whenever you have time, just go through this. As the name says, it's a framework, it's not a library, it's a combination of multiple libraries. If you don't want to use robot framework, it's your wish. You can create your own framework and you can customize however you want, but I would recommend just give it a try. Very easy, already so many libraries are present. You don't have to spend much time to write the script, and if you just go through it, you will understand how this robot framework works. So these are the reports. Okay, you can also generate BDD test cases. Okay, this is in Python, and now if you go through this, these are the template for calculator. Okay, and if you see here, this is just a normal script. Okay, input username, your data. Okay, input your locator and again some data, and submit. So you can see very easy steps you just need to write. Okay, so if you have worked on the keyword driven framework, what we do, we write keywords, then we write locators, then we write data. So this is exactly what this robot framework does. It is a keyword driven framework which will help you to automate your stuff. It can be UI, it can be any other automation stuff. So just go through these libraries and we will be discussing how to use it. So if you want to use, either you can use their editors, which is RID. Okay, robotic, for the robot framework they have a separate editor. Okay, people call it RIDE or RID, and you can also use it with Eclipse. So I will be showing you with Eclipse how to use this robot framework with Eclipse. Very easy to use, but in case if you're using some other editors as well like IntelliJ, you can use it. You can also use Notepad++, some line editors, Vim plugins. It's up to you. At the end of the day, we have to write robotic, like robot framework scripts. Okay, so they have a separate extension that we will discuss in a separate video. So hope you're clear about robot class and the robot framework. Robot is a separate class. Robot framework is a collection of libraries which will help you to do your web automation and any other automation as well. Now this is another documentation which I directly copied from their official site. So this is the same thing which I just showed you here. Okay, if you go through it, you will understand. This is the complete documentation of your robot framework. Let me quickly cover. Okay, you can use the tabular syntax since it's based on keyword driven. So you will have a tabular format where you can write couple of I will say keywords and you can automate your stuff. You don't need to write the code for this. All these are already provided as a keyword. You just need to use this keyword. Very easy to use the generate reports, logs. Okay, and they have very I will say simple libraries where you can play with the Excel files, XML files, JSON files. And now if you're working with API testing also, they have a separate library as well for API testing. Okay, it also supports data driven test, and you can create your own variable, global variables. Okay, you can pass the parameters. So whatever we do in a normal automation, everything you can do here as well. Okay, so we'll discuss this in detail when we start our robot framework. Now the most, I will say, the confusing term nowadays, or I will say very popular, but since you are in the automation background, now you must be confused that we have Selenium, we have robot framework, we have robot class, then why we need this robotic process automation? Okay, one thing guys, robotic process automation is mainly used when you have to automate the complete business process. Okay, when you have a complete, or I will say standard business flow or a process which you want to automate, which will start from your taking one data from one source, interacting with another application, again do some kind of UI stuff, and then put the data into the DB, and finally generate one email report and send it to the customers. It can be any process. Okay, it should be a business process, end-to-end process. In that case only you can use robotic process automation. Okay, I will not say that only you can use. If you have the individual modules also you can use, but it is mainly used when you have the complete business process. If you have only the UI automation, go with Selenium. If you have requirement only the Windows automation, you can use some other tool. Now let's talk about the official definition which you will get from their website. Okay, so I'm taking this definition from UiPath, which is one of the RPA tool. Standard definition says robotic process automation is a technology that will allow anyone today so that they can configure softwares, or in RPA terms a robot that will integrate the actions of human interacting with digital system to execute a business process. So ultimately you are going to create a robot that will perform exactly like what activity or the interaction which we do with the applications, so that we can execute a complete business process. Now using RPA or robotic process automation, it will give you the ability that you can perform any task on a computer like what we do. I will not say thinking, but normal stuff, manual stuff which we do on a day-to-day task, we can automate using RPA. Now when you talk about RPA, okay, when you talk about scripts, we Selenium, we talk about it's a Java script or a TestNG script, or it's a TestNG test. But when you talk about RPA, everything will be called as a bots. Okay, so these bots will perform certain tasks, whatever you assign, depends on your requirement. So now why it is called RPA? Any sequence, okay, or meaningful steps, or the set of activities, or the set of statements, it is called, when you combine all of them, it's called the process, right? That I follow one process, like if I perform these steps, I can achieve this task. So this is nothing but a process which we follow. Now what is automation, which we already discussed in many of the videos? When you perform any activity without any human interaction is called automation. Okay, and this process and the automation which we are doing, it is carried by a bots, so it is called robot. So if you combine all of them, it is called robotic process automation. So RPA, it is mainly useful, okay, for the processes which are clearly defined, repeatable, and the rule based. You cannot create a complete business scenario or the RPA scenario if you do not have a proper rule based approach. Okay, when I say rule based, it means you should have a proper user use case or proper flow, how the user will behave under this particular conditions so that it will do this particular task. Okay, everything should be a rule based. If this activity or if this event is occurred, then this should happen. If this event is occurred, then that particular condition should trigger. So everything should be rule based. If you have all these things configured, then you can use RPA, and it is very easy. Now, why RPA is getting famous? Because there's no coding involved in RPA. Okay, so summarize what is called RPA. Okay, when you do automation and you follow any standard process with the help of boards called Robotic Process Automation. Now let's take a business scenario. Okay, I am responsible for a particular company where I have to process many invoices. Now what I will do, that is what my task is, I will read all the invoices either through a shared drive or folder or through emails, and all these invoices are coming in terms of PDF or any other Excel file. So what is my day-to-day task is I need to read all the PDF files one by one. Okay, and what I need to capture: customer name, amount, the product, date. I have to read a couple of sections from that PDF, and I have to open any database. Okay, it can be Oracle database or any other database. I have to enter all these details one by one, and once all these invoices are done, okay, in this DB I can also do some more processing, like give me the top 5 customers of the day, give me the top 10 customers, or give me some leads or any accounts campaign, any details. And finally, once we are done, I need to create Excel report and I have to send a summary of this, okay, at the end of the day, and I have to send it. Now this is what a particular use case. This is very small use case, guys, but when you talk about uh, in real time, you have very big use case where you have to deal with many DBs, many UI, you have to call multiple APIs. Okay, so you need to come up with a proper use case and then you can automate using RPA. Now test automation is only applied to the product and its features. Okay, but RPA can be applied for the complete business process. Now let me simplify this sentence. When I say test automation is only applied for a product and its features, let's take an example of Selenium. When I ask you write a script to capture some data from the UI, so what we are doing, we are focusing on a product or on a features. Okay, so test automation is only limited for a particular product. Okay, so these are a couple of areas where RPA is getting used extensively. Okay, like data entry, customer order updates, where you have to deal with the lot of data, financial accounting. Okay, HR task where you have to do the employee onboarding activities, payroll department, access management, system administrator. Okay, so there are so many areas where you can use RPAs, and there are so many areas where RPA will not be the perfect fit. Okay, so you need to identify first of all which kind of use case you have, whether RPA will fit for your requirement or not. If yes, then which tool you have to go through. Now this is the main part, RPA versus automation. Now people have many questions. If RPA comes, then Selenium will not be in the demand or Selenium will not be that popular. Okay, so it's not the case. Selenium will be in the market, okay, because Selenium have its own advantage, disadvantage. In the same way, RPA also have its own advantage and disadvantages. So when it comes to automation, you can take any automation tool, Selenium, UFT, QTP, Sahi, Telrik, all these are only capable for web automation, desktop applications and so on. But RPA tools, they are capable to do complete business process automation, okay, which will interact with the different applications. And ultimately, if you ask me, both are doing the same thing, right? So RPA is also doing automation, Selenium is also doing the automation. So conceptually they both are similar because they both do the automation, and they offer same advantage. What exactly our main goal is, that we have to reduce the manual intervention, right? So both these RPA and automation, they conceptually they are same. Now I found this very useful video from their official website, which will give you a very good example how RPA works. Okay, so let me show you this video. Okay, this is their official site, UiPath. So UiPath is one of the RPA tool. So I will not run the audio. Okay, just see what exactly RPA can do. So you can see from step 1 to step 6 what exactly it is doing. It is taking data from set of folders. Okay, then it is reading some set of files, and finally it is feeding into the DB or in any system, and finally it is sending as an email. Okay, so it will ask you in which address you want to send. So this is all is done via RPA, and it does not involve any human interaction, like not even a coding. Okay, you will see it is all about drag and drop. Okay, this is you will find similar, or I will say many scenarios in their official YouTube channel, where they have automated many business scenarios, and it will give you clear idea what exactly RPA can do. So I would recommend just go to their official YouTube channel, watch couple of use cases, and you can then finally, once everything is done, it will send as an email. This is again very small use case scenario, but you can do many things using RPA. Okay, so I will give the link in the description, and now you can see how exactly this RPA look like. It is like drag and drop. You have so many sequences here, flow charts. What you need to do, you need to just drag and drop from the left panel, and then you need to connect, and you can see the, okay, I can show you this. uh, just go back to the RPA UiPath. Okay, let me open this in a new tab. Okay, you can see this how it works. They have a start. It will log into Salesforce. It will search for a context. If contact exists, yes, it will get the information. It will create one CSV file, Excel file, and finally it will send us the email. If that contact doesn't exist, okay, then notify the user, search again. If no, then close the Salesforce. If search again, if found yes. So this is one of the use case, very small use case, but this is how you can do using RPA. It is all about drag and drop. UiPath is built using C#. So if you know C#, it is added advantage for you. But even if you don't know, you might have to understand few things about C#. Rest everything you just have to drag and drop in RPA tools. Now if you talk about the different tools, we have many tools in the market for RPA, UiPath, Blue Prism, automation everywhere. But UiPath is very famous nowadays because they offer the community edition as well, which you can try. They also have professional edition where they have unlimited features, but if you want to learn from your own, you can go with the UiPath, learn about RPA. Okay, and if you find it is useful, it can be implemented in your current company, then maybe you have to talk to your manager or your team lead, and if you think it is useful, you can take the the professional edition, and you can implement for the multiple teams, multiple projects as well. First do a small POC using community edition. If that works out, you can go ahead with the professional edition. So I will plan dedicated video for robot class for robot framework and for RPA as well, maybe in upcoming months, but this is the total difference. I hope this video will clarify your doubts about all these three. If you still have any doubt, just let me know in the comment section. I will try to clarify with another video. If you like this video, just like this video, share with your friends, subscribe to my channel, because we are going to bring many videos on the test automation, okay, and on the different technologies as well. Okay, that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much guys. Have a nice day. Bye bye.